Good evening. Yes, it's Tuesday. Monday was a Monday. Um, Trying to do too many things and actually totally forgot about doing a video. So, oh well, we'll get it done tonight. Yeah, I had routine service done on the HVAC on Monday, and it's totally. I was here early, but totally lost track of everything on a Monday. And little story too. Kind of do with the title dollar short. Not really dollar short. Just me. I thought I had a package from the post office coming, and so I was going to eat lunch. Checked down the parking lot and saw our postwoman. So I walked down there and said, "Hey, you got a package for me?" She kind of looks at me like, does a double take. She goes, "Oh, you're Alan from Discover Games." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, you're always sitting down behind the table. I come in. Um, you're a lot shorter than what I thought." Well, great. Yeah, I'm short. Thanks. So that's kind of reference to the dollar short. And anyway, it was funny. It was a UPS package anyway, so she didn't have anything for me. Yeah, that's the way my Monday went. But got a lot done. Got my packages, all good. HVAC service in good condition, new filters, all that fun stuff. So it's Tuesday. Had a good night. Good turnout for BattleTech. What, two, four, six, eight, at least 10 guys again. So once again, very solid on Tuesday night. We played our Risk um, Legacy Risk game. Oh, had forgot there for a second. I won! Yay! That was fun. I think we're having much fun ragging on each other as we are playing the game. Uh, but it's fun. It's totally different. Especially tonight, we had different factions, different starting places. So uh, it's a good game. Um, I've always been a fan of Risk. Grew up playing Risk, and this Risk Legacies adds a whole bunch to it. It's different every game. So I'm fun with it on Tuesday nights. So we got NashCon coming up. Yeah, woo! Got to get up my act together for all the conventions coming up. Got a bunch of stuff I want to do. Questions: can I get my act together? Um, NashCon will kind of slow roll. It's just me. Jill will come up. Staying with her cousins, so spend a little time with them. Um, so kind of do a low key on my end. I got probably 90% of stuff I want to take, but it's always a last minute on what did we take. We've got some plans coming up for future conventions, contacting um, some other manufacturers, distributors, or whatever, to make sure I'm getting the right product to take. Um, Gentleman who actually he not from around here, but he comes in to Fayetteville quite often. For business, came in and we were talking about Blackout. Oh man, I think that was once again. I'm going to get that back on the table. Too many games, but that would be a great convention game. It looks good, um, demos well. So I got to take a hard look at that again. Like I said, too much stuff. Um, Waiting for my Warcrow stuff. I'm excited about that. That's another one I think would be a good sell at conventions. Should demo well. Excuse me. I wish I'd say it's past my bedtime, but it's not. It's just my mind is slowing down here. Um, Especially for those guys who like those people like fantasy, but not big fans of Games Workshop. Age of Sigmar. I think it really will appeal well to them. What else we got going on? Had our second. Gotta make sure I update that on the schedule. Lights and noise. Flesh and Blood, our second week, doing that on Tuesday nights. I got a small following, 4 or 6 guys, but hopefully can get that up going. Star Wars Unlimited, Wednesday nights, Commander on Thursday nights, and I'm looking for someone to do Orkana. I'm now official store, so trying to find someone out there to run that for me, um, so we can get that going. Uh, what else? You talked to Joe. Sorry. Like I said, my brain shut down, so I got to do this fast. Asian Sumar tournament. Need to get that on the books. And yeah, bunch of conventions coming up. So yeah, working on that. As I mentioned, what am I going to take? It's always the $1,000,000 question for me. What are we going to talk about? Had some thoughts this morning, but that was this morning. I've been watching a lot of Warcrow videos, reading the rules. I guess that's a good topic. There's so many games out there anymore, and throw in board games, miniature games. Uh, how do you get going? How do you develop interest um, in a game? Um, and I'm talking about this initially, and thinking about all the conventions too. I think it's got to look cool, got to look good on the table. And like I said, I'll even throw board games in there. Any more just old school. Talking about Risk. Um, this it needs to wow you. Everybody's got miniatures, tokens, all that stuff for board games. And once again, miniature games. You got to have good looking miniatures. Me and Mike are both working on a lot of terrain. Actually, I got 2 more projects going on the printers for some terrain stuff. Um, Hopefully more. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So I got 5 projects I'm working on printing terrain for. But that is kind of our goal over the next year is get some good looking terrain, getting on the tables. It makes a difference. But yeah, new game anymore. You gotta have that wow, cool factor, cool miniatures. Um, I think mechanics, both board game and miniature. Even cards. I throw that out there. Um, I've played several games of Star Wars Unlimited and really like that mechanic of the game. I personally like games that were across the board where you're interactive. And I mentioned this a couple times. Even on your turn, um, you can die, or if it's not your turn, you can interact somehow. I really like that in games. It keeps you involved, even when it's not your turn. Um, so for me, that's a good mechanic. Um, you have the dice, is it cards, is it none of the above? And that even goes, like I said, cross board game. I don't have to have dice, but I just like that feel. To me, it's very gamey if you have dice. But there are some good games out there, or they don't have dice or minimal dice. Looking at High Noon right in front of me, a great game, no dice. It is card driven. Still some luck, but you kind of can mitigate a lot of that luck by when and what cards you play. That's the thing about Risk. One reason I won tonight, I feel like I lost very few combats. Um, yeah, I'm sitting there thinking maybe 5, 6 armies I lost. Or the other night, I couldn't roll any, I couldn't win a combat. So yeah, a lot of luck involved. And that can be frustrating. But once again, it depends on the game you're playing. What else? What else? What else? Again, it goes back co-op. There are some good co-ops. I'm not a huge fan of co-op games. I do like the trader aspect if it's a board game, but I do like playing with multiple people, be miniature game or board game. But you got to be careful with that because it can bog down, um, one person's turn. No fault of their own. It's just the way it can be. But I do like playing with multiple people. Um, So, once again, all these new games, and just go to Kickstarter, search, tabletop games or whatever. There's a good dozen out there probably right now. And and do you even, how do you, ah, it's a challenge. And I fight with that really almost daily because I get multiple emails from Kickstarters, publishers, writers, pushing new games, new Kickstarters. Um, and I want to go above Kickstarter. That's kind of whole separate topic. I do back some of the guys I know, and I guess that's part of it. You have an author, a developer of a game that you like their past games, so you're probably more likely to buy their new game. I think that's very very common. Um, with that, I've seen a lot of companies, and this is probably the moderate sized companies, um, especially the miniature companies. They'll kind of wander over to the board game area, and I think sometimes that is distracting. Um, I do understand they're wanting to branch out, and especially miniature games. The development, the production time of miniatures can be long and drawn out, whereas board games, um, usually, especially if there's no special tokens or dice or miniatures, those can be pretty quick turn between design, production, and getting them out there. So I understand it can be the gap filler for some companies, but I think sometimes that can lose their focus with those. Um, but yeah, I guess this thing about that would be probably my first look. Is it a game that someone else? I would take Risk Legacy, for example. I played a lot of Risk. Would I place? Yeah, I mean, I would give it any of the Risk, whether it's Legacy or another branded Risk. I would probably give it a look just because it's Risk, and I have a history in Risk. Whereas some other games, I might not. So yeah, I think that's a lot. Is it a game you've played before? Um, let's say by a developer or a brand or something. I would throw that out there. Probably I'd give that a look. So, and that's something when I do go to conventions, I always go look around. Of course, at conventions, if it's on the table, that's the first wow, that looks cool. So, that's probably the first thing I would look at is the rule of cool. Does it look cool? Then I would throw out there probably second. Is it a game by someone I've played in the past? Um, then there are certain genres of games that I play. Um, and like I said, not a big competitive, co op game player. So that would probably move a game down on my list to try. My issues are so many. I could probably roll off 20 games right now that I would love to get on the table and just don't. Um, it is a time issue, and it's not to say I don't have the time. It's just sometimes not the priority. So, yeah, I mean, good question. What gets you into a new game? I'll throw once again Warcrow out there. Corvus Bellic, great company. Infinity, great game. I don't play right now, but I really like the miniatures. I like the rules overall. There's a couple things I think there's sometimes too much going on in Infinity. That's as far as keywords and stuff. That's why I actually like kind of this basic, the basic Infinity. Um, Code One is called, but it does limit what you can do. So that's a drawback. But once again, great company. Um, I do like fantasy. Um, as most people, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so that fantasy model. So with Warcrow, it does scratch that fantasy itch. I mentioned Warcry. I like Warcry. Not a big fan of personally of Age Sigmar. Once again, it's just not for me. I think overall it's a good game. Great miniatures. So, but just mm, uh, I'm I've gotten into more of the skirmish games, so that's where once again where I think Warcrow scratches that itch. From everything I've read and seen, I really like their system. Um, it has some cool mechanics thrown in there, some different stuff. Not 100% unique, but it definitely combines some stuff from different places, um, and throwing a little new stuff. It definitely creates a new game, new mechanics out there. Um, so once again, really looking forward to that. I think just was looking at their production schedule. There it is going to kind of mirror Infinity, uh, which it means new products every month, but not just a whole bunch of products, which I like from both a player and from a store. I can kind of keep up with that. Um, but they definitely have a long term plan. Um, so that's good. I think that's a help grow the game, keeping it fresh, but just not, um, throwing out where you got to spend several $100s to keep up with the game all at once. Um, so yeah, I think that's good, and hopefully, as soon as I get some of my stuff in for Warcraft, I will do some specialized videos on that. So look for those. So anyway, well, with that, I've got to go check on my prints. I got one that's just about done, and yeah, I need to be heading home. So yeah, get a chance, comments, or let me know what type of games you like. I'm always new people ask, "Hey, what's your favorite game?" Just it's good, fun discussion. Um, always get good feedback on that. Everybody's usually passionate about their favorite game. So let me know. And with that, we will see you probably up at NashCon. I'll do a video. Anyway, have a great day. We'll talk to you later.